a lot of people didn't know this. He actually made the list without me. This
You
was
said that, yeah.
This
You
was
said that like 12 times.
this was his list, so we definitely wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
So some things I agree with. There was other things that I didn't agree with,
But
but
80% you did not agree with.
about 80% I did not agree with. But hey, we will not take any crew slander. This whole episode, we will not take any crew slander.
I'll trigger y'all.
Yeah.
I believe.
This is Molly the Iceberg. Tribe is on the move. You're now tuned into Trackstarz.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tan, and DJ Jeremiah. Was good.
All right, this segment is sponsored by Nectar Distribution. Go to www.nectardistro.com. Your opportunity to get out on 150 plus digital outlets. Get your music out there to Pandora, iTunes, you name it. All these opportunities exist with nectardistro.com. All right.
All right, we got the crew in the building. How you doing?
Yeah.
Good, doing good.
Man, how y'all been,
Controversy
man?
in the building.
Ready for this, man. Let's do this.
Let's just
What you ready for? You
Hey,
seem a little
Let's cut the
bouncy.
music, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
go
just-
right in there.
today.
Hey, DJ Jeremiah, cut the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's just get into it. I don't even want to play.
Right.
All right, so it's okay. So you got a little backlash on your list.
A little.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
the whole genre came from my list, man.
Man, everybody came for your list. And
They
then
united.
I saw the video y'all did this week. Right, where y'all
Right.
talked
That should have
about
helped out a little
Yeah,
bit.
it did.
Yeah,
I love
it
that
did.
video.
It did. It was hilarious though. It was hilarious.
So it didn't help out that much.
Explain.
Y'all two going back and forth was hilarious.
Like,
Like
right,
when
why
he
you
was
tell
like,
me?
he was like, but Kurt though. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we do on a normal basis. Is we argue.
Yeah.
Blood brothers. That's what we do. So
Because a lot of people didn't know this. He actually made the list without me. This
You
was
said that, yeah.
This
You said
was
that like 12 times.
this was his list, so we definitely wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
So some things I agree with. There was other things that I didn't agree with,
about
but
80% you did not agree with.
about 80% I did not
Yeah.
agree with. But hey, we will not take any crew slander. This whole episode, we will not take any crew slander.
I'll
All
trigger y'all.
Yeah,
I'll trigger
well, it's
y'all.
4, but
Yeah.
But you can't. How do you say 4?
I'll trigger.
Yeah.
Man, you were shaking your head like I didn't know this was happening. 'Cause Jeremiah had mentioned that we should do it, and I was driving, and I was like, "That's a great idea." And then I got to my destination, and I was
said
"No, that's not a
no.
good idea."
Yeah, that's what happened.
But I thought about it before he said it, though. He just.
But why is
reiterated
that
it.
not a good idea?
We've done lists
Because-
before. I mean, it's not been
Yeah,
this
like
before.
why all of a sudden because they got killed, you think that you? I'm just
Got killed?
We,
somewhat.
Hey,
We've
We
been
used to
not
get
doing lists for a
killed.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So it's no way to make a list that people gonna like.
Right.
No way. It's impossible.
I stand behind you shouldn't number your list, right?
No,
I
that's
think
not a
the-
list then.
I know it's not a list, but it's still like
So
who's
an
in the
or-
conversation?
an or-
Who's in the conversation?
You'll take less
Yeah.
shots. You'll definitely
You definitely would
receive
take less shots, yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
If you did that. I actually had a conversation with Jared Sanders, and
Yeah.
that was his suggestion as well. Was bullet points.
Yeah.
No numbers.
If you can't take the heat, man, just don't do it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
How many
You're gonna have
artists?
to take the heat.
How many artists hit y'all up was like, "Yo, we should have been on the list."
You know what? Surprisingly, it was more public.
Okay.
Nobody hit us in private.
Private.
Let me move this over real quick.
Well, that's what I mean. Like public. Who
I gotta
all?
explain this.
You can't. Okay.
Okay.
How many artists were like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
so-
we should have been on that list"?
Man, oh man, I want to say about 10. On one side, it didn't directly say it. It was more, hey, the only list I care about is Jesus's list.
Yeah, I gotta
Or
go.
the eyeballs, or the trash cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The memes.
There was a couple of those.
Yeah, the memes.
There was a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
don't think you wasted any spots with like Kirk and
Look,
No.
first and foremost, I'm not Kirk. I stand by my reasoning for having Kirk Franklin on the list.
Okay.
Definitely, Chance the Rapper was a shock value
Yes.
placement.
Yeah.
However,
Okay.
I stand by my statement
Yeah.
about Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I think it's accurate.
I'm gonna say this. There was one part in your explanation video, right, where you started. It was in the very beginning where you kind of came out. No, real talk. I told y'all about this, right? But
Well, you didn't tell us about it yet.
that's
So we
real.
was
That's
gonna
real.
wait till we got on air so you
That's
can
real.
embarrass
That's real.
us.
No, it's not embarrassing, man. It was for you. Like I said, it was vindication, right?
Yeah.
Because you said it, and I kind of felt it, right? you was like, who can outright just name like, you know, maybe even 100 Christian rappers, right? Like who can just outright do that? And then once you name all of, I knew Jeremiah could, right? But for me, right, I was like, I can't, right? So I couldn't even name all the 50 unless I looked at your list. Like you was like, unless you reference my list, and you probably can't name all these people just off the top of your head.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, bet that's real, right? And then after that, but that still don't explain your rankings, but still. But at least that was a fact, right? I was like, yo, that's a fact. And that shows that it takes a lot to even put together a list in the first place. Real. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so then people start, like this week, people start trying to put together a list, like even based off of y'all's attempt. So if y'all did nothing else, right, at least you kind of...
Y'all not catching all the...
Man, it's all the undercover jabs, man.
Making it sound real nice.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Let us down nicely.
It's none of that. No, I see,
we're not used to this. Y'all hear this all the time, so y'all know exactly.
Nah, man, it's actually dope, right? I really appreciate it. I mean, the list wasn't, but still, I like everything else.
See what I'm saying?
No, it was good. No, it was a good.
It was a good try. What'd you do? You know, when that person get up and they can't sing, oh, bless his heart.
Nah, it's not.
He's slick, man.
No, I'm glad y'all did it though. I'm just saying, I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you brought that type of attention.
Y'all jumped out the window first, and
then everybody else started jumping after, and I love that.
Here's a question for you guys. I know we're talking about Chance, but your explanation for Chance, do you feel like more Christian rappers will embrace Christian rap like Chance embraced it, even though the world's like, you still, even Christians like, I don't know about Christian rap, but the world's like, yo, I'm tired of Chance because he's talking too much about
I think it's going to take someone within our space, one of the bigger artists, to make the full circle. It's not going to be enough for just a Chance the Rapper, because what's going to happen is on his side, he's going to get called corny more and more, and they're not going to stand for the explicit content. You know what I'm saying? The explicit Christianity content. So it's not. If a person in our space, a top person in our space, a couple of those people, if they don't make the full circle, like, okay, I went out here, I did that, you know, but I really need to get back to keeping the main thing. Nah.
So what you saying somebody inside the circle, right, needs to kind of leave, like vote above it, right, do extremely well, right, and then come back and get us and get most, and then bring them back up, right?
So
and that's when it'll matter.
And then that's when people, I think, will get back to being more explicit, having more explicit Christ lyrics.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a cycle. It's going to take a cycle to, because there's always going to be a counterculture, right? So there was explicit Christian lyrics, and then people are like, man, that's lame. I'm going to soften it up a little bit, talk about real life. And eventually that people are going to get tired of that, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm the real thing. I'm talking right about Jesus, blah, blah, blah. And that'll get boring, and then somebody, that's just how it is. So hopefully it will come back around. Now,
I'm not ready for this. Look. Go ahead. Pull it up. Oh man, they got receipts.
Man,
I thought I deleted it from the archives. Come on, man.
I think when people put together lists, it kind of shows what they value in music. So I wanted to ask you, like, when you hear hip hop, what is it that you notice first? Is it the lyrics? Is it the production? Is it the flow? Is it like, what is it? Because I think everybody's arguing about these lists because different things matter to them when they hear music. Like, so what would you say yours was?
So definitely production. Off top, I say this all the time. I've tweeted it. You can have dope lyrics and trash production, but the song will be trash. Now, I don't care if you got, dope bars and triple entendres and quadruple entendres. That ain't gonna matter. But if you have dope production and trash lyrics, you could just say on the track, the whole track, and people are going to pay attention. People are going to listen. So unfortunately, in this world that we're in, this area, this space right now, it's all about production. So I start there, and then I'll go back and actually, okay, what were they actually talking about? So, I mean, that's me. I mean, is that the same thing that you kind of...
So generally with me, it starts off... I'm type of, like you said, type of production first, and then I'm flow is what gets me immediately. It's like kind of flow and cadence, generally how the person is rapping, and then lyrics kind of comes into play.
I think that's the major difference. That's the major difference. It used to be upside down. Lyrics first. Flow, then production, right? I think that's where the rub is that people are like, why are you even including the rapper? Ain't got nothing to do with the beat, but that's half the song. Like if you choose bad beats, that's on you. You know what I mean? So that is a big part of it. So I understand that. That's the big rub.
I mean, and then even look at how popular DJs are now, or producers.
Yeah.
You know, it used to, they hid in the background, like, and you'd be like, oh, I didn't know you produced that. Now it's like, you know it because of the tagline.
Yeah.
You know it because of the type of beat. Like, most of DJ Mustard's beats all sound the same. You know what I'm saying? With the type of elements that he uses. So, you know, that's got to be that type of beat. Oh, man, that's who that is. And then they're in the music videos now. It's going back to the whole Diddy days, you know? So, you know, I think that also means something as well. So that's why production is such a big thing now.
So let's talk about your channel, right?
Okay.
So your channel is growing. You guys are doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
I guess, what's the strategy for the channel? You guys do cover things that are probably more controversial than we normally do.
Right.
Somebody has to do that, right? Because nobody was covering.
Yeah, nobody was doing
You
it.
and David are probably the only ones in that space where it's like instant news type stuff. Because we're
Sometimes
once a
it's
week.
wrong.
We're a once a week thing, so we can't get to all that stuff that fast, right? But you guys are filling that gap. What's the What's the long term goal for the crew? What do you guys see?
Man, so I think at this point, I mean, it's still to me unattainable. My wife, man, she's been a big influence. She's the one that puts the vision in my head, like, you know, you can do more, you all can be bigger. But that's going back to the list. I didn't think people would care as much because I didn't think we mattered as much within the space.
Wow.
So when we received all the flack, it was like, for real?
Yeah.
Like you,
Why
like
do
you
even
know,
care?
you know. And then people, you know, like was just talking to Few, and he was like, "Yeah, we know who you are." Like, really?
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, to me, it still seems unattainable. But I mean, we would love to go into TV, actual like real radio, not just, you know, in my living room with a green screen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would really love to be something bigger. Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it will.
It's gonna happen. Like, that's guaranteed.
Yeah,
100%. So just get ready for it because it's gonna happen. I think what we need to do, like kind of like how Ruslan was just here, we need to have more times where we can meet, share notes, because some of the stuff that we're all like hoping to get, it's probably just a phone call that someone's gonna be like, oh, you need that? Just call such and such. You know what I mean? So I think that's gonna happen the more we guys get together, we talk, we figure out, share notes. Yeah. And I think what we talk with Ruslan about is we need more people that are selfless. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I don't care if I get a benefit.
Right.
Exactly.
When you get it. I don't care if it helps me out. I feel like there wasn't that many people that had that attitude in the past. It was all about, what can I get out of this?
Right.
Is this gonna help me or not help me? I don't care. Right. Yeah. So I think if we all stay open to saying, you know what you need, I got you, blah, 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 I think it'll change the whole trajectory of what we're trying to work on here. Because that's what needs to happen. We can't win if y'all don't win. Right. Because Trackstarz can't be CHH. Like, you need a community. Yep. They're not just going to listen to Trackstarz all day. They have to switch to another show and another show and another artist and another artist. Like, it has to be, it needs to feel like this is big, not just one person.
Right. So. Well, you know, and I really appreciate, it's funny that you said it because, you know, I reached out to you. You know, it was like, hey, you know, what y'all use, you know, what you do, because I wanted to make us more professional, you know, and you were like, oh, yeah, you know, it took you 2 months, but, you know.
You getting it.
Was it good?
Yeah. But not
right, at the same time. Right, exactly. So it's kind of like NF and Eminem. But anyways. But no, I mean, you did. I mean, it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, you literally put it all out there. At first, when you didn't respond, I was like, "Oh man, I'm probably trying to step on some toes." But you gave me that information. I even reached out to Ruslan. It was the same thing. Yeah. I even spoke to David because David has great, great audio and everything. And I mean, it was immediate as well. Yeah. And that's why I felt the need to even get him on the show. Yeah, so we could talk because I didn't want nobody. I wanted to squash the thing that maybe people thought we were at animosity with each other. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. So we did that. We had that conversation was probably like an hour. Yeah. Just getting it, and I think it's dope, man. I'm talking to somebody in New Zealand, like from Oklahoma, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so that was all dope, crazy. Man. So it was just really cool to make sure that we put that out there. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I mean, and I'm speaking from experience. You were not you were selfless. You were like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, put that out there. If you don't hear from me, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't check my messages.
Yeah.
I promise.
You responded.
Everybody in here knows.
And we have a general inbox, and so we'll check that more than we check our personal inboxes. So
right, and so I had to tell people I check my DMs more than I check my email. Mm-hmm. Like 1K Fuse manager was like, yo, I emailed y'all. Like, really? What? I felt kind of embarrassed. Like, no. But then I was like, nah, but if you DM'd us, it would have been a different story.
Straight away. Yeah. That's dope.
Yo, MC Nice say he's been checking out for y'all, bro. No, really.
This is happening.
He
This is
said
happening.
he wants y'all to contact him. If you don't know what he does God's of Hip Hop.
God's House of Hip Hop.
God House of Hip Hop.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Radio
it's
station.
radio station,
Yeah.
Dash
Okay.
Radio.
Yep.
Oh man,
This is happening right
So
now.
like
talk to him.
prophetically. Wow.
Yeah. So talk to him.
Yeah.
And he would love to have you guys on his
Yo,
station.
hit us on the DM, man. Not email. Hit us on the DM. I'm more active on Twitter DMs, man, because Instagram DMs, you got to approve. And that's a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
I always
yeah,
miss, having to approve or decline
Right,
if you're not following. So,
Yeah.
So,
If they don't follow you, I think that's what happens. If you don't
yeah,
follow
if you're
that
not
person.
following.
Yeah.
So one of the things that is, I've had a bunch of approvals,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, you sent me this, 2-3 weeks. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Twitter DMs is always the best. Everybody out there, Twitter DMs is always the best because it's easy access and you can message me, regardless of whether I approve it or not. So that's
Yeah. So I think the one thing everybody knows, the first thing I ask when people, come to work with Trackstarz or whatever, I always want to know what you really want to do.
Right.
Because sometimes people feel like they have to do stuff because you need help. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, that's cool if you want to run the camera or whatever, but what do you really want to do? And I think we all need to start asking that question more because sometimes people are afraid to tell you, I actually really want to be a producer.
Right.
I really actually want to be a director.
Right.
But you needed me to do marketing, so I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just trying to get that foot in the door instead of being
Exactly.
honest about, that. So I'm glad that you asked me
We need
that.
to be interested in what people are really passionate about, their actual purpose. And if everybody can be honest about their
Yeah.
actual purpose, then we could get somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah. So radio, that's
Yeah.
already being handled. TV, working on that.
Yeah.
What else? Like, what else y'all see? What's the crew in 5 years?
Man, so me personally, I want to be those people. Like when people come, hey, do y'all have a place that we can perform at? Hey,
plug.
I want to be that person. I want to be able to, sponsor. Have our little logo, next to somebody else's. I want to be able to be invited to go to, the Kingdom Choice Awards and different things. Like we want to be that. Now that we're seeing a little bit of traction. At first, it was, we're just having a conversation amongst ourselves. Let's put it on camera. People may care.
Yeah.
Now it's like you said, TV, radio. We want to be like people, true people within the genre. That we want to be, those people.
Even also, I know, we had just talked about this, also, being able to throw events and, things of that nature. So, that's definitely what we're looking at, so far as growing the brand, throwing events, being able to throw it, big CHH events, things of that nature. Right.
In Oklahoma.
Right, exactly. Because we have a lot of artists in Oklahoma. We talking about Paris Carriz, Jerry Manna, DJ DB is out there, Cadence. So, Dylan Chase, Dre Murray. So we have a lot of artists, but a lot of people don't know this. You know what I'm saying? So, we definitely want to, we definitely trying to put Oklahoma on the map. And
y'all gonna need something because the Thunder ain't no more.
Hey, no. We definitely will not tolerate Thunder Slender. We definitely not going for that. Okay, we going somewhere else.
You're gonna be in a lot of fights, my dude.
Lost
gonna be
Westbrook, lost Westbrook and got to watch Trae Young out here, man. That's not good, man.
It's gonna be rough.
Man.
But I think this is a good message, man. Like sometimes this feels like an eternity between opportunities, right?
Yeah.
When we started 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was the years where it's like nobody cares, nobody's listening,
Nothing.
And eventually if you put the work in and you don't quit, people are gonna fall away. Like people are gonna quit. People are gonna go out.
Right.
They're gonna open up lanes for you. And if you just stick to it, get better. Figure out what you're actually good at. Get good feedback, and don't delude yourself to think you're good at everything. You're not good at everything. Figure out what you're not good at. Get better. And when the opportunity comes, if you're there, boom,
It's time
right?
to go.
So don't get impatient if you're like, I want to have a show, or I want to be a big artist, I want to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You just got to keep working, stay faithful, actually get better, and then be prepared when it comes, right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so
Now,
I think
here's-
y'all personify
Here's
that.
a question. So if somebody made a list of media and y'all went on the list, how would y'all feel?
Wait, Christian media, right?
Christian media.
Only Christian-
CHH media.
And how big is the list? Top 50?
Top 50.
Dang.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, if we're
Top
not
25.
Hey, if we not
Top
on the list,
15.
if we not on the out of 50, look, if we not on the list out
Past
of
and
50,
present.
man, we got a problem.
See, now you feel how people
No,
feel.
but wait a
man.
minute. But there's not 50 Christian media outlets, man.
You don't know.
Not 50 that you
Well,
know
you're right,
about.
You're right. Okay.
Not 50 that you know about.
Fair point. Fair point. You're right. If we weren't on the list immediately, just out of my human nature, I would get upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I would always pull myself back and be like, you know what? It doesn't even matter.
As long as
Like,
I'm on Jesus' list.
nah, man. Hey, look, I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck. I think that, I'm trying to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. I mean, initially, like, man, I thought, but then I would look at it like we don't have the subscribers that Trackstarz have. We don't have the subscribers that Rapzilla has. So it would make sense to me. No, I wouldn't say as long as I'm on Jesus' list. I wouldn't say that.
This is coming from a real place. This happened to us. It was about 6 years ago. I think
Yeah.
Wado put out a list like big
regional
people
stuff.
in
Yeah.
different
Top
cities.
10 cities and the people to go to for CHH in those cities.
Yeah.
And this is
And
we're
Atlanta-
9 years in. You know what I mean?
The Atlanta, it was like
Nothing, right?
Nothing.
So it was
like City Takers. Reach
what
Records.
it did though.
It was City
what,
Takers.
What it did was, it's a heart check in two ways. It's you're not as big as you think you are, and why do you care if you're on this list?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it's a
why?
true heart check.
Why
Yeah, it's
did
the heart
that
check.
bother me in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that needs to happen with everybody. Is there's the reaction to this list kind of reveals the hearts.
Yeah.
Right. That we're starting to care a little bit more about winning.
Right.
Than the purpose
Than
of all
actually
that.
winning souls.
Let's start
Yeah.
over. Let's start over.
Yeah.
Let's not forget what this is about.
Right, exactly.
We are doing this to help expose the
Yeah.
gospel to people that are in this age bracket
Yeah.
that may not want it from Bishop so and so.
Yeah.
They want to hear hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing this to shed light to it. And in the meantime, what makes it hard is that we're broke.
Yeah, right. No.
Those are
talk.
facts.
We're
Yeah.
trying
Across
to
the
figure
board.
out
Across
how
the board.
to do this because we really believe in it. We
Yeah.
think it's really a mission that
Yeah.
we want to fulfill.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no funds attached to
none.
this, right?
Yeah.
So you get lost in the sauce because you're like, I have to get to this level to do it full
You
time.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start to play the game of popularity contests with
Yep.
other people, and you
Yeah.
start to get in your feelings when you're not there because you know your whole livelihood is attached to this thing.
Yeah, that's
If
right.
I can't figure out the money side of this, I'm gonna be at Wendy's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of like, and I might
Right.
be there now.
Yeah.
Can I take
Right.
your
So-
order?
Exactly.
Can I take your order?
That's the issue is we got to figure out this transition period between this is what we see that needs to be the minimum standard of living
Right.
for people who are in this ministry that we're in, right?
Yeah.
But we cannot get lost in chasing after success,
Mm-hmm.
just being about fame, just being about lists. We have to because it's
Yeah.
almost it feels impossible, but we have to figure it out.
I gotta say this though.
You have to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy,
be
but on
that
the,
guy.
on the other side of that, right? Because I feel that 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the other side of that, these lists as artists kind of make you feel like not popularity wise, right? But just in my artistry,
Yeah.
where am I?
Yeah.
Right? Have I made a
It may-
big enough impact?
It may
right?
It may
And-
be more in my marketing. Where am I?
in my marketing, but even if you know me, right? Let's say you know me, right?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And and let's say you know me, and I'm still not there, right? Let's say you know me intimately, like we
you're in the
cool,
room.
like
Like
I'm
you
right
can
here, you right there. You feel what I'm
like
saying?
you're the DJ for the show.
Yeah, maybe. And even when you're there and left off those lists,
You know what
right?
I'm saying?
Let's say
Yeah.
we've done music together, maybe.
Yeah,
And you haven't
like entire album.
You signed
Maybe.
it, like you
Just
signed
say
to
his
his
name.
label.
Maybe.
Just
Maybe.
say his name,
Like you
man.
signed to his label too.
maybe,
Right?
maybe,
At one time you signed to the label.
possibly. Let's just say that's the situation, right?
and you don't make the list.
And you don't make a list,
Right. Okay.
You're like
And-
first you're like because it's family, they don't want to seem
Right.
biased.
And
Right,
then,
right.
then you
Then
look
you realize it's like no.
right, and then you look at the rough draft, and in the rough draft of the 2000 artists,
You were there.
you weren't named.
Oh no.
Just say that's the case. You feel what I'm saying? And then you're like, man, I wonder, is this something I should be doing,
Yeah.
or should I move on? And not me per se,
Just anybody in that
just
situation.
anybody in that situation. If you're there, I understand.
Hey, drop one of DJ Jeremiah's bombs for Rick Sincere. Drop one of them bombs for
I
Rick
got
Sincere.
to. I got to.
Think about me.
And because that person was featured on your project, you were featured on theirs.
Let's just say
you were
those are
featured on their
situations.
project,
But,
they were
but
featured
all
on
that comes back.
yours.
But
all
whatever.
that comes back to
Not a
say
thing.
It's a heart
Should
check.
be your favorite
it
rapper.
doesn't matter,
should
be.
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Who are you supposed to reach? Who are you called to reach? If it's 10 people, reach those 10 people. If it's not Jeremiah, it's not Jeremiah. It's not the crew. It's not the crew. Not the crew. You know what I'm saying? But you dedicate your life to the 10 people God told you to reach, and you rep your heart out for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
No
think
matter how many.
I think that's also where it needs to get to.
Wait till my next up list.
And I need to be on the amateur next up lyricist list. If I'm not, I'm gonna be.
But
mad.
I think that's kind of where it comes. You know, you need to understand where you came from, because that's what we did. You know, it was like, hey, we only getting 5 views. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's cool because we didn't get in this to be huge. Like the perception of trying to be on TV and radio didn't come until we started gaining traction. It was like, oh,
like,
well, we
good at
really
this.
can,
Yeah.
But before that, it was like 5 views. Oh man, did you see we had 100 views?
And your mama loves you, so you know that.
Man, yeah.
But that's hard to hold on to.
You're
honestly.
right.
I remember when we first started, it's like every comment, every view was like, "Yo, Ryan, did you see the comment?" I can't even get to the comments. You know what I mean? Like, you start to not appreciate every single person that watches you anymore, and that if you have to, with all your might, hold on to the fact that this is not about you. Don't matter how famous you think you are. No matter, none of that stuff actually matters at all. And I know none of this is getting through because all of us will go back and act the exact same way afterwards.
No, real talk.
I've said this so many times.
But I will also
and I'm
say,
talking to myself.
But I will also say that those lists can have a reverse effect to make you step your game up. Real talk. I saw Philip Root. I'm gonna call him out. I saw Philip Root. He tweeted at David Livet and said, "I wish more channels on YouTube were as good as yours as far as production and you know, different things like that." And I'm like, yo, like, you know, I thought we was cool. Like, you know, you ain't you ain't outwardly shouted us out. And then that's when wake up from your snooze, you know, that whole rap thing that we got at the beginning. That's where that came from.
That is dope.
Because it was like, you know what? You right. So cool. Let me go and use my little resources. Hit up a guy from you know, from our church. And shout out to El Dewan, man. He's rapping in CHH. Hit him up. Like, can you do this? Yeah. And then it was, you know, it was like that, and that gave us a more professional look. Now I'm working on the audio side of it, you know, and then trying to work on the camera side of it. So
the point is that there's no way you could be really good right off the bat. Like every year, I've tried to reevaluate. Okay, are the mics good enough? Or are the cameras good enough? Are we? You know, is the room layout good enough?
Right.
Obviously, it's too dark in here, so we got to add some decorations at some point. But you can't do it all at once because it's expensive. So you guys got little by little, each little improvement. The people that meet you 10 years down the line won't know you started in the basement. You know what I mean? Like we started we started making music in a closet. You know what I'm saying? We started our show in the bottom of Clark, Atlanta. So just keep making it better, but don't assume you got it already. You got to really learn your business and really study, watch YouTube videos, take classes, whatever you got to do, because there are actual ways to get better, like tangible things that you can do to make it better.
But it's supposed to sting a little bit, right? Like when you read I was watching y'all's channel the other day, and I
appreciate that one view.
Yes, sir. Yes, I watch y'all weekly.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. But what
I'm
I was
subscribed.
Okay. Anybody else want to one up? Anybody else? Did somebody actually get our merch when it was out for like 2 months? Did anybody?
I tap out.
Okay. Just wanted to know.
But y'all had linked to another video where this person was like, nobody came close to us in the whole time that we were doing our channel and our website. There's no competition. There's no other websites, no other YouTube channels, no other. I was like, really? Like, no other?
Wow.
And then I was looking in the comments, and I was like, surely somebody in the comments.
Somebody said something
about Trackstarz.
Yeah.
And I went all the way through every comment, and I was like, wow, nothing. And this was put out like 6 months ago.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, we got some climbing to do. But it made me call Jeremiah and Sean and be like, yo, we were not mentioned in this video when I think we should have been. So what do we need to do to make sure that?
And I say, stop worrying about that.
I know. But that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a list, right? So you're using this to judge whether or not the world sees you as getting better every year.
But I don't think you need that to get better. You should be able to get better regardless of the feedback, regardless of the acceptance of you or not.
Well, I mean,
it should be driven because you have a mission. That's my point. Is that it's like. When we got, well, I got you eventually, whatever. I got fired from Radio 1, right?
Oh, man.
My first thought was, oh, I'm coming back here. I'm going to buy this place. Not what people thought I was gonna say. I'm gonna come back here and buy this place.
Buy, B-U-Y.
Bomb.
Drop the bomb.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Drop on the DJ Jeremiah's
That was my
bomb
initial
for buying
thought.
the
It's
place.
like, oh, y'all don't believe in me? Watch, you know? No.
That's your building.
Y'all don't believe in me? Watch.
Right.
I had to immediately check myself and say, that's not a godly motivation.
But you said that like 2 months ago.
No, that's not true. That's not a godly motivation. I should be motivated to get better, regardless if they think I'm good or not. So that's just trying to recast your. Don't be motivated by revenge and bitterness.
Yeah,
you can still be really good and just pure of heart. That's all I'm looking for.
Anger, we said it 2 months ago. We
but-
just got over it.
Does God not kind of place those things there so that we get a reality check?
It is.
So
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, y'all think y'all somebody, blah, 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 and then it's like
It could be.
y'all
But
nobody.
just don't turn it into yeah. Like that's to me that's not the. It's like okay, that hurt.
Yeah.
I may not talk to you again, but I'm not gonna do this just to shame you.
But
Like, this is about my own personal.
I think people also got to realize that sometimes some people may not like your platform, so they may exclude you. Do that on purpose because they don't like what you're doing.
Man.
And it's not hating. Well, it is hating, but it's one of those things where it is they may not be my cup of tea. So I'm not going to list them on this list or whatever.
I was watching one of y'all's videos and I was reading the comments.
there you go again, man. I really like this flexing you doing, man.
Yeah.
He watches our videos.
No, people definitely need to watch. I mean, that's where I go for my immediate source. Like when I'm behind, I'm like, oh, I need to catch up. I watch the crew because it's short enough to the point where I can get through it and remember it and go to the next one and get like 6 of them out. Yeah, it's
that was
genius.
the point.
Good job. And so I was reading in the comments and somebody was like going in on y'all and they were talking about, somebody stumped in to defend you as well, but it was like Christian over Christian, and it was like, yo, that was really hurtful. Like what they were saying was so mean and so it was just like, and I don't believe it should be that way at all.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be that way at all. But I think
This had to be an NF video. Was it an NF fan? Yo,
This
they
was-
ruthless.
Dude, his fans are different.
ruthless.
This was y'all's reaction to Philip Rude's video.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody was like, y'all don't even matter. This is that and the other. Y'all shouldn't have any credibility in this conversation.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, dang. And I noticed that y'all's fans were responding back, but you all responded back. And you all were saying, hey, bro, all in love. Appreciate what you're saying. And that's what Sean's mentality has always been. Me and Jeremiah ain't always seen that way.
Yeah.
But we're coming around to it because, you have to at some point say, okay, you know what? If you read these comments, you might not ever do this again.
Turn the other cheek.
Right,
man.
right.
Turn the other cheek. I don't even read comments anymore.
But
I
I tell you what that responding like that came from.
I'm actually surprised you responded like that.
Well, no, hold on. Because, all right, to keep it a bill, I respond like that publicly. But I call my brother and go in.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I do with Sean.
Yeah. But you have to understand that I start realizing, like, you came to my channel to watch me.
Yeah.
Like, you're commenting. You don't have a platform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Call them out.
So a lot of times what I do, if you go through and look, I pin the comment. I pin those comments.
you
I do this.
I've had people say, "Oh man, your channel is whack." Like, heart, pin.
I used to do that. I
saw that.
I had to even watch myself because yes, it's coming from the motivation of I'm not gonna let this hurt me.
Right.
See what people are saying about us. I even had to say, am I doing this just in a slicker way to shame?
Exactly, and you are.
Like,
You are. I mean, honestly, you are.
And I still do that now. So I'm just why you said it, I'm like, dang, I do that.
It's a level of pettiness behind
You're trying to show like you can't hurt me. I'm fine.
But at the same token, I mean, we have to practice what we preach, and it's not easy.
It's
so
hard,
if I can go against my flesh, and actually do what I have studied to actually do and handle these situations, well, that's great. That's cool. Oh man, that feels good. Oh, but my wife knows what I really say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My brother knows what I really say, but even then, after I do that, then I take a moment and like, God, whatever you're trying to get out of me in this situation, I'm not, your list is the only list that matters.
Well, you are on our list. Show people
Thanks,
how to get to your YouTube.
Appreciate it.
So just type in youtube.com/The Cruise Hip Hop Corner. That's
one
us.
word?
All one word.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Keep working. Here in my last, the feedback is all good.
Yeah.
It don't matter. The fact that they know your name, whether they mad or not.
Right.
It's a point. It's an impression. That's marketing. That's all that is. I don't even take it seriously. Like people saying bad stuff about Jeremiah's list. It's part of
them, but
yeah, you know, hey man, look, they didn't come for his list like they came for mine, so I wanted to do it first.
That's great that you got blasted first. That's perfect. You actually did the best because you got the most heat on your list. That's what it's all about. So don't even take it as negative.
And we would like to say, if it wasn't for us, you know, he wouldn't have been able to, you know, actually sit down and think about his list.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Jeremiah?
Wait, hold on.
He might have.
Let me give it a second.
Wait, you talking Jeremiah?
Let me give it a second. No, I'm sure. You know,
Not Jeremiah. Me, yes. Jeremiah, no.
Well, I'm sure he took it. Took his time through, but I'm sure that made him like, well, let me.
Whoever came out first would have got blessed.
Well, I tell people all the time, without a Christian hip hop index. By the way, I think we need one. Is there one? Without a Christian hip hop index and without reviewing my list, it would be difficult to name 50, and I had 65. So, and I'm pretty sure you maybe had 100 or so.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so look, see. So
I'm not
drop one of
saying-
DJ Jeremiah's bombs for having 100 people
Old
on his
school
list.
too.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not saying in terms of
went back
naming these
decades,
artists. I'm just
yeah.
talking about in terms of placement.
All right, man.
All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars. Ryan Wright, Sean Tan, DJ Jeremiah. Lay up.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Make sure you go below, like it, subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you follow us on all forms of our social media. Also, check out our website and be sure you spread the word. We'll see you next time.
We know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in a lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time's up.
Team Freedom.
Yeah.
We not through yet.
All right.
Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up, turn me off.